Well, they're the first band I got into back at the age of 12, 13, and they've been kind of part of my musical journey really ever since.
From the age of 12, they've always been in my life.
When I was a teenager, it was like Blondie was always on the record player or in the car or on the CD player.
They rock my world, I don't know, I can't explain it. They rock my world.
A lot of people think Blondie's my life. Blondie is my life, but it is a huge part of my life.
Debbie just admits this aura, doesn't she? Yeah. Even when she's on telly and during shows.
I was born in 78 and my dad was well into Blondie. He had the best of vinyl, so I just grew up with the music.
First record I didn't actually buy, my mum bought it, was Tiny's High, and then she bought the best of Blondie and I kind of stole them off her.
She's someone that's got this just amazing stage presence, which, you know, it comes, that's cultivated over time, isn't it? But, you know, that woman's got it. I mean, Madonna's nothing compared to...
That's a good thing about her
Debbie Harry's performances.
Longevity, you know? It's a big word this time, like, because it's still there, it's as strong today, and that's what's so good about everybody coming together, because you'll find people that like them for 2 years, 20 years, 30 years, and everybody feels the same sort of feeling.
And it's
just like, yeah, it's just the... No, it's just sort of the thing that hits you in the face. It's hard to describe, isn't it?
Debbie and Blondie were the first act that I sort of found by myself without my parents having a lot of influence.
You used to go to bed with the radio, and you used to hear Denis, Denis. It was like, oh, that's amazing, that song.
I remember seeing them on Top of the Pops when I was 13, and they played Denis, and I was just blown away, absolutely blown away. I don't know what it was. I don't know why I've stayed a fan for so long, but I was just totally blown away. I just fell in love with Debbie Harry the moment I saw her.
For me, it was as a 3-year-old in 1979. Basically, I ended up watching from recollection, it was Christmas Top of the Pops with Debbie performing Sunday Girl.
I was 9, and it was similar, because I was sitting at home and I can still picture it sitting on the floor, Top of the Pops on, and my mum saying, "They're punks, they are," and that was it. That was it. From that moment on, that was it.
We obviously have some very ardent fans over here in the UK, and they've always been very supportive, and I have a feeling that we're probably pretty near and dear to a lot of people from back in the early days when we had our initial success over here, and songs like Denis Denis and Sunday Girl and things like that. And you know, it was a big boost to us to have the success that we had in the UK back when, prior to our success in the States.
I'd say probably about 15, 16 times in total.
Probably between 50 and 60 so far.
I try and keep it to a couple really, it kind of keeps it a bit more fresh.
I've lost count, but I'm trying to do as many concerts as possible.
It's been a good few since, obviously, when they reformed, because I was too young before.
I've not counted.
Be to so many, I can't. I'd have to actually sit down and write them all out.
In the area of about 30. I'm not sure. My first one was in 98.
Depends how far the credit card stretches.
I'm curious as to how people can go to so many shows.
It runs through their minds.
Yeah, why
do so many do that?
I think a lot of people that go to every single gig, yeah, they're big fans, but I think part of the reason they go to every gig is because they want to meet the band as well.
It's become an addiction, I think. The more gigs you go to, the more you want to go to the next time around.
I meet up with people, get carried along with it.
One of the good things is you see Debbie in a different outfit each time. And that's the main thing, isn't it? What she's going to come out in, isn't it?
Every single concert is totally different.
How many did you do this time?
12.
Did you?
And every single one you can remember for a certain different thing.
Saying that we're different every night.
Yeah, it's different, but still, you know, that much repetition. I don't know.
You know, just like the shtick, doesn't it take
the
the magic
it's
out
like sex, you know, you don't get that blue.
Right.
I mean, I'm a big fan of people like Bruce Springsteen or Bob Dylan, but I still don't know how many shows I could take in a row, you know?
And I go see Stones or I go see some fucking thing as a one-off. It would be like a vivid memory in my head and it would be exciting.
She's just different to every show on the band is as well. Especially the sound as well, it's different, and it's nice to see different reactions from the crowd as well, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely when the crowds are into it, because you get so much more of a response from the band. You can see it both in the people in the front row and the band as well. They're playing their hearts out if they're getting something back from it.
Performers say you feed off the audience, but there are certain detonators that you can press to kind of get the audience going, and that really has to do with sort of the more well-known songs.
The first one that we were near through. Simply because we'd never seen Debbie before. There's no such thing as YouTube and that, so we had nothing to refer her to, did we?
The first one, like I said, November the 25th, 1998, just to see her walk on stage.
I think my first, possibly because I thought I would never see them.
My mum bought us tickets for that as a surprise, didn't she? We got them a week before. So that was really, we were absolutely crapping ourselves that day, weren't we? Because it was our first ever concert we'd ever been to.
Mine would be January 1980. It was my very first concert, as well as my very first Blondie concert. I was 14. The concert was sold out. I paid £20 for my ticket, which was a lot of money then for a 14-year-old, but I had to go. I had to get another ticket because no one would let me go to Hammersmith on my own. When Debbie came on stage, I just burst into tears, and it was just a very emotional night for me, and I won't forget that.
First time round, kind of pocket money didn't stretch that far. So when they came back, reunion, 98, 99, I mean, that was just a dream come true, really. It's fantastic.
The one I remember the most is probably the Debbie solo tour in '89. That was my the first one. And that was at the Borderline in London.
The most special and memorable was the first time I saw Debbie, which was at the Borderline in 1989.
The stage was no higher than this table at that height. And I was like, I could do that and hold the microphone.
I was standing right next to her, and the stage was quite low. She had this kind of see-through black mesh thing on, and I remember all the songs. I remember people throwing roses at her, and she was biting the heads off and spitting them back at the audience. I think I got a bit of spit on my cheek. I didn't wash my face for about a day.
And you see her just sort of strutting out onto the stage. I mean, those few seconds are just electric.
You know, it's all about going to the gigs for me. Music is a very, very big part of my life, and to be able to go to the gigs and hear these songs done live that you haven't necessarily heard before is just fantastic.
The set list is a bit controversial amongst the band members at the moment, to tell you the truth.
I have a lot to say. Usually I arrange it, and then I have to fight with everybody to make them do what I want them to do.
This is such a fucking struggle. It's crazy.
Just to get people to agree to do the same songs is really...
Yeah, everything's a fucking struggle. You know, so people come up, you know, why aren't you doing a movie? Why aren't you doing this? You should be doing this. You know, I get these lists of fucking, you know, screenplays and things that people write. Well, you know, it's one thing to sit around in your bedroom and think of cool shit, which we all do, but to actually do it is something else.
A Blondie tour can be, I think, it can be around the £300, £400, £500 mark, just on the tickets alone. And then you've got the travelling expenses.
I think we worked it out with the calculator the other day. I think the price of gig tickets came to about £800. It's like bye-bye student loan.
It amazes me that people can just go and spend all this amazing time, all their time and all this money on going to all these shows, and I'm very thankful that people feel that way.
What do you think about people seeing every show? Don't you think it detracts somewhat from the levels of excitement?
No, because you change the set and the sound is different in each one.
Yeah, the sound is
this place is particularly good.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily always see everybody's face. Sometimes it's very comforting. Sometimes it's a little bit strange. You know, I guess every night is different, and you know, it always feels a little bit different. You know, the acoustics are different in every place, so sometimes I really don't hear, you know, everybody singing or responding sometimes. I don't know, just, I guess it sort of depends. Most of the time, it's pretty good, actually. It's nice.